most of the times, whenever we talk about, saving money, we're thinking about doing it for a goal somewhere far in the future, like, saving up to buy your dream house or saving up for a comfortable retirement. And those are valid use cases, right? But I've started to realize recently that it's not just for the future. Saving can actually really help you now. So in my personal experience, I managed to save up quite a bit of money in my early to mid 20s, and it literally changed my life. I'm not even exaggerating. So today I thought, I'll talk through some of the big benefits that I've experienced from, having this amount of savings early on in my life and in my career. First, some context. So I know that it's not easy to save up a big amount of money, especially when you're still early on in your career, because maybe you're starting out on a low salary, or maybe you still have some other commitments that you still have to pay off. In my experience, I did have a lot of lucky breaks that helped me get here, but in my opinion at least, it is possible as long as you put some work into it. And I also wanted to say that, just in case some of you guys think that I'm some trust fund kid who started out my life with 100,000 ringgit in my bank account, I'm really not. So my family actually told me that right after I graduated, I wasn't going to get any more money from them, so I had to make sure that I had my own job so I can pay my own bills and save up my own money. All they contributed, which of course is still a big thing and I'm still grateful for it, is that they did pay a part of my education fees, but a portion of it was still funded by PTPTN, which I am paying off now. So I just wanted to put it out there, and I also made a video about how I managed to save up over 100,000 ringgit by the age of 26. If you guys are interested in watching that video, I'll leave the link down in the description. Just don't click that now, watch this video to the end, and then go ahead and watch that video if you want. So to get here, I did put in quite a bit of effort into making more money, and I also sacrificed some stuff just so that I could save that money that I earned. But between those two things, I would say, to be completely honest, at a young age, if you want to have a lot in savings, then the key is to just earn more money. Of course, you need to save, otherwise if you don't save, then you'll have nothing in your savings, obviously. But yeah, if you do want to hit a certain goal at a younger age, you kind of have to earn more money, and that's what I did. So I ran a business. This YouTube channel, of course, is a business, and it was challenging trying to balance things with my full-time job. It did take up a lot of my time, and even now, where I'm technically not fully employed, I'm technically still self-employed, but I still work 9 to 5 every single weekday. I work on the nights on weekdays, and even on weekends I spend time creating content for this YouTube channel. So yeah, it is quite a bit of work, but I gotta do what I gotta do to earn that money. But in my opinion, it's all worth it, because having this, it actually helped my life in many ways, especially with regards to my career and earning more money. So this video, it's a bit different, it's a bit more personal, it's a bit like the story of my life, my progression with my career, and how I earned more and more money as time progressed. But I thought I'll share this anyway, because a lot of people, whenever we think about saving money, like I said earlier in this video, we think about something far in the future. So we think that maybe you don't have to save so much money at a young age. Maybe we should just enjoy our lives and then save later on, because retirement is so far away. But I'm here to show that having savings, it can really help you now. So let's get through it. So first of all, I want to talk about how having money actually helped me progress in my career. And I'm talking about full-time employment. You guys might be thinking, how on earth does having money help you progress in your career? It doesn't make sense. It's a bit tricky to explain, but I'll try my best. So the thing is, if you don't have enough in savings, right, you'll be very afraid of losing your job, because let's say if you get fired, if you lose your income, how are you going to survive? How are you going to pay your bills? But once you hit a certain amount of money, let's say you have 6 to 12 months worth of cash that you can survive even if you lose your income, then you get a lot more financial security, obviously, because you know that, hey, even if I lose my job, I can still be fine, for 6 to 12 months, things will be okay, I can find another job. So the result of having this financial security is that it made me a bit more brave at work, and I wasn't afraid to speak my mind. So I'll give you guys an example. I would always give my opinion, and I don't mind arguing to defend that opinion, even if it's going against someone like my boss or a more senior employee. So I know a lot of people wouldn't want to do this. They would want to, just agree with their boss because that's a safe thing to do. But at that point I was thinking, what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is I would get fired, and even if a company wanted to fire me because of this, then I wouldn't really want to work in a company like that anyway, right? But the key word is I wasn't really afraid of losing my job if it came to it. And it turns out my managers appreciate it. Maybe, yeah, I did work at a company where the culture is good, where they don't really mind this, and I had a good manager, of course. But they actually appreciated this, because most of their employees, they would, like I said, they would just agree with them, they would just be yes man, and having someone who would just give a different opinion, whether I was right or wrong, at least there's something else to consider. And I honestly think that because of this, it really helped my career progress, where I had 2 promotions in 2 years at my first job. And then after a few years at my first job, I actually got a job offer at another company where they were gonna pay me more, but it was a bit more risky and I was a bit more afraid, because at the company, one, I had to start from scratch. And the people in the company, I would say, they're a lot more competitive. They're a lot more kiasu, where I actually had to go and compete with them. So I was a bit afraid, what if I didn't make it there? But again, having this financial security, it allowed me to take this risk. I actually know people that don't want to move jobs, or they're afraid of moving jobs because they're afraid that they might fail their probation, which then means they're out of a job and they don't have money to pay their bills. This example is a lot easier to understand. Maybe some of you guys don't even think about this, especially if you're a high performer, but I know a lot of people, they are afraid of moving jobs because it means that you no longer have that job security anymore. You're gonna have to rebuild that trust all again from scratch. So yeah, having this financial security, it allowed me to take on a higher risk job, I would say, for higher salary. And again, this is how, having this savings, it actually helped me move on in my career. So speaking of taking on a more risky job for potentially higher money, that's exactly what I did. So after a few years at my next job, I thought, maybe it's time for me to try and pursue content creation full-time. It's something that I always wanted to do. And, it wasn't like a crazy risk I was taking, of course. I've had this channel for about 4 years now. By the time I quit my job, it was about 3.5 years. So it wasn't crazy risk, but it was still risky for sure. My income wouldn't be guaranteed, and at the time that I quit my job in September of last year, this channel was actually dying down a bit because I didn't put in as much effort because of how busy I was at work. So I knew that if I wanted to take on this pursuit, I had to kind of like rebuild this entire channel, not knowing whether it would work out in the end, not knowing if I would earn enough money to survive, or actually match the salary that I had before I quit my job. Again, there was no way that I would do this if I didn't have money saved up. I know some people who are extremely brave, they have a business idea and they go all in even without savings. They just have full trust in themselves that they will get things sorted. But for me, and I guess most people, I would assume, it's just too much stress taking on a risk like this if we didn't have savings. So I checked up on my finances, I tabulated everything, and I realized that I could go on for I think a year or just over a year, even if I had zero income from this YouTube channel or anything else. So I thought, I'd just go for it. Worst case scenario, this doesn't work out, I go back to work, my savings are depleted, fine, I'm still young, it's okay. But the best case scenario is it works out for me, and I always thought that I would regret one day in the far future. I'll have a midlife crisis if I never tried to pursue this full time, because it is a good opportunity. And thankfully, because of all of your support, it's actually going quite well, I would say. I'm bringing this channel back to life, and also because I have more time to focus on content creation, I'm also creating some short form videos on TikTok and Instagram, which is helping me a lot in terms of getting sponsorships and deals and stuff like that. So if you guys aren't following me on those social media platforms yet, follow it. I'll leave my handles, I guess, somewhere here on the screen. It's of course short form video, so if you guys think that YouTube is a bit too long, you want just like snippets of financial content, then check out my videos on that platforms. So yeah, having savings, it did give me the opportunity to go ahead and pursue this career, or I don't know what you call it, a career, I guess. But while I was working on this, I actually got handed the opportunity of a lifetime. I basically got offered to become a full-time trader. So this is something that I've always wanted to do ever since I graduated. I always liked the financial markets. I always thought it'd be really cool if I got the opportunity to do it day in, day out. And here I was being handed this opportunity. So the catch is that I would not be getting a salary with this offer. It was more of a profit split thing where if I earned money from trading, that I would get a share of those profits. So if I didn't make any money from trading, that I wouldn't get any money. I would have, literally zero income from this. Add that to the fact that the bosses, when they were offering me this opportunity, they wanted me to be realistic. So they told us that basically, if I managed to break even after the 6 months, that would be considered a success. If you guys don't know what break even means, it's essentially, I make zero money from trading, but I also lose zero money from trading. So they considered that a success, which basically means that, I was handed the opportunity of a lifetime, but there was a big risk if it didn't work out, because it basically means, I tried it for 6 months and I don't make any money. And again, the only reason that I was able to pursue this opportunity is that I had money saved up. It's only been 4 months, so I don't want to jump the gun, but so far it's been going a lot better than I expected. I'm actually slightly higher than break even, I would say. But yeah, it is going a lot better than I expected. But I had to plan for the worst, of course. And in my firm, in total, I think there are about 12 or 13 traders, and I'm just one of 2 that is under the age of 30. So the thing is, in trading, unless you're working at a big trading firm who's going to pay you a salary, you do need quite a bit of money, not just for your starting capital, but even if you get funded, a funded account, if you don't have a salary, then you need money saved up to survive for the next 6-12 months in case you don't make any money from there, like in my scenario. So yeah, a lot of people wanted to join this firm and try this as well. I know some people who wanted to as well, but they just didn't have enough money saved up to survive for the next 6 months in case, this doesn't work out. So of all the things I talked about, in my career, as a full-time employee, pursuing content creation, and now this is actually the part where, I really felt the impact of having savings early in my life. This part here literally changed my life because, like I said, this was my dream job, and I got the opportunity to pursue it knowing that even if it didn't work out for me, at least I got the chance to try. So yeah, that's how, having savings early on in my life actually helped change my life. It's still early days, but right now, with my content, with my trading, those two combined, I'm actually making more money compared to what I was when I was, a salaried guy at a normal corporate job. So yeah, this is one of the ways, I guess, that, people make money from having money. Most of the times, whenever you hear people say, having money makes you more money, that's more in the investment sense where, if you have a big investment account, then obviously you will get more in terms of absolute returns. And that's true. That's one way that money can help you make money. But this is also another angle for you to consider because, having savings, having this money, it allows you to take on new opportunities. It allows you to take risks for, potentially even higher returns or higher income. Some people think, that, hey, we're so young, we shouldn't stress or worry too much about saving money for retirement because it's still so far away. We should be enjoying our 20s while we can. And that's true. I actually did spend quite a bit of money on experiences and things that I liked in my 20s, but I always had a goal in mind to save up a certain amount of money just to give me that flexibility. At the time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Maybe I'll just take 6 months off and then just see how it goes. But then, everything just lined up and I decided to pursue content creation, and then the trading thing came up. So yeah, in the end, the flexibility actually really helped me because everything that I have done today, I wouldn't have been able to do it if I didn't have that money saved up. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about all of this. Do you think it's worth it sacrificing some stuff in your 20s just to have that extra bit of money? Or do you think, working a normal full-time employment job is fine and you should just go ahead and just enjoy your youth? Thanks for watching this video to the end, guys. Give us a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.